Hi guys, welcome back to Racin-n-Braisin. I am CJ. It is Monday night. Before we dive into things tonight, I do want to take a moment to recognize and say how sad it is to hear of the passing of Shige Hattori, passed in a car accident. I just heard the news a couple minutes ago. It was released earlier today. So sad to hear. The owner of the Hattori truck racing team and a longtime racer, was in IndyCar and a longtime presence in NASCAR as well. Please send your thoughts, prayers, and love to the Hattori family, as well as his extended racing family. I know he touched many, many lives and will surely be missed by the racing community. All right, so let's dive into it. Welcome back to Racin-n-Braisin. It is Monday night, and Monday nights are when we recap what we saw over the weekend and just touch on a couple of points that are still hanging out there. So let's dive right into it. First things first, let's talk about yesterday's race. A little bit of chatter already about whether or not it was a good race. I think we saw a classic NASCAR race. And we also saw something about the Gen 7 car that reared its ugly head yesterday. The Gen 7 car is great on intermediate tracks, but not great on intermediate tracks that only have one lane to race in. And that's basically all you have at Darlington. Darlington is so narrow and temperamental in the groove that there's really only one lane of racing. With as close as these cars are together, being spec as they are, hard enough to pass with them already. When you only have one groove to work with, makes it even harder, and we saw that yesterday. Clean air was king. It was follow the leader. It was a classic drubbing by William Byron for about 3/4 of that race. He got out front and stayed out front. There were several times where he caught up to lap traffic and showed that his car was not going to be good in traffic. And once he lost that lead, unfortunate for Rudy Fugle as the play caller there on the box for the 24, to leave him out just like an extra lap longer than he needed to. And that's what cost them the lead. Once they lost that lead, Byron was never able to make the passes that he needed to get back to the front and resume control of that race. Ryan Blaney yesterday was the only car that could actually pass yesterday. That team has proved week in and week out that they are building cars for long runs and for great handling as the runs continue on. He was absolutely the class of the field yesterday. Unfortunately, his pit crew kept setting him back, and he kept having to fight his way back forward and never really got to the front until just a few laps to go when he finally took the lead from Tyler Reddick, who then ran into the wall, who then caused Kyle Larson to check up, and of course caused Bubba Wallace to run right through Kyle Larson and spin him out. I don't think it was on purpose. It looked like it was kind of just a weird fluke racing deal. The in-cars show Larson massively lift off when he saw Reddick get into the wall, brought out that late caution, and proved that the racing, even after 400 miles of racing, ultimately comes down to, that ninth inning moment that NASCAR is looking for, and put it in the hands of the pit crews. And Denny Hamlin's pit crew absolutely won the day. And Ryan Blaney's pit crew absolutely lost it. Hey, Ryan Blaney at least finished another race. So that's 2 in a row for him. I'll call it momentum, and that's a good deal for him. He's bound to win one of these here real soon. That team is absolutely on fire. He's good at Bristol, and after the break, there's no doubt he's going to be a force to reckon with at Talladega coming up on my birthday weekend. We saw clean air dominate, track position play a role, tires of course play a role, as we talked about. Never really saw the pit strategy that I thought might play out in the third stage, where some teams elected to partition it out into 3 instead of just splitting it in half. That never developed. And then, it came down to an overtime finish. Whoop-de-doo. I don't know. Was it a good race? I'm not sure. I wasn't exactly thrilled by it. I know Mom was bored in by the third stage and was definitely tuning it out. Um, I was watching intently because I was taking notes and trying to have something to talk with you guys about today. But unfortunately, that was just a follow the leader style race and wasn't all that interesting. Let's dive into what the picks were. Mom had William Byron. We all know how his day went. He finished second yesterday. So that adds 2 points to her total, bringing her up to 77 now. My pick, Ryan Priest, yesterday got destroyed by his boss when his boss lost a lug nut after a green flag stop lap, 138 or something like that. It was in stage two. And Priest had just come out of the pits. He was one of the first to pit in that segment. Unfortunately, got caught out because of that. Never able to recover. Stayed in the low teens for the rest of the day. Eventually ended up finishing 26. Really took a big hit to my points yesterday. Put me in the triple digit club. I am now at 116, a full 39 points behind, which means I am a full race behind yet again in the regular season battle. Let's do a quick throwback to yesterday's food, and let's seal the deal on the throwback weekend. There was a comment on yesterday's short, and quite honestly, I'm not upset about it. I didn't even see it this way until it was said, but the comment basically was along the lines of, "Hey, until I put earphones in to hear what you were talking about, what I was talking about, it looked like dog food." And dang if they weren't right. I didn't realize it at the time, but I looked back at it again, and yeah, my you know hamburger helper style dish kind of looked like dog food. It wasn't all dressed up like it normally is, and I'm not upset by the comment by any means. It's actually kind of accurate and kind of funny in my opinion. But it does bring up a point that was always the case throughout my career in the restaurants, and something that was always harped on me early in the career by other chefs, and then something that I had to be very particular about as well as a chef is that the majority of our meal is consumed with our eyes. 90% of the meal is eaten with the eyes, or all of the other sayings that say everything begins with the appearance of the food. And you know what? Yesterday's short was not a good representation of what that meal actually was. What it was actually really, really good. The flavor was spot on. It tasted exactly like a hamburger helper that I remember from as a kid. The way that I treated the cauliflower kept a lot of texture in there and definitely mimicked kind of that little springy rubberiness that pasta has. There was some of that texture in there. And like I said, the flavor was spot on. So it definitely threw me back to what I was looking for. And I guess the appearance of it wasn't exactly what was representative of it. That's okay, not a big deal. It's just me, eating the food. It's not like I was cooking for anybody else. I enjoyed it. Wasn't even able to finish that entire bowl. It was so filling and so delicious. Nonetheless, like I said, I'm not upset by that comment, but it did bring forward just something that has always been important in the restaurant industry in particular, and just any part of my chef career, is that you got to pay very particular attention to the appearance of the dish, because that's where the meal really begins for the consumer. I'll be sure to keep that in mind, and any of the shorts that I come up with from here on out, I will definitely be sure to artsy it up for everybody and make sure that it looks as visually appealing as it smells and as it tastes. That's my promise to you guys. Leave a comment below. What do you guys do to make your dishes look nice? Do you really take time to make it look visually appealing before you serve it to your friends, your family, your loved ones, or do you just slop it on a plate and it all ends up in the same place? Let me know in the comments below. So that's all I've got for you here on Monday night. Please do like, subscribe, share with your friends. I'm trying to grow the brand here, and I appreciate all of you guys joining me a couple times a week to talk NASCAR and talk cooking. We've got Bristol coming up next week. All 3 series are going to be there starting Friday, and I will have a preview show for you Thursday night. Be on the lookout for it. Like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you guys on Thursday. Thanks a lot. Take care.